Welcome students, this is Sister Mills. I am just making this video to give you a quick overview of our course as we get started in our basic writing course. So over here on the right I have a window pulled up with our course, and then here on the left I have the schedule of things that we're going to be learning throughout this course, and so we'll go ahead and talk about all that. But first I wanted to mention here on the home page when you first log in there's an announcements page, okay? These are the most recent announcements, and in each of these is where you will be able to ask questions, and that's where I'm going to provide a lot of really helpful information. And so if you want to go to one of these announcements, you can go ahead and click on them here. And then there's also this little icon over here that shows you that there's replies and there's responses to that you haven't read. So I'm just going to go ahead and show you this announcements page. This is going to show us all the announcements. And I just wanted to really point this out because this is where I'm going to be sharing the most important information for you as we get started. And this is what it's going to look like at the end of the semester. Right now you probably only see one or two of these, but go ahead and read through those. Those are going to be super important as we go ahead and do our course. So just as a quick overview, here's the syllabus. You can go ahead and read through that, and that's one of the things that you'll do here in week one. So there's that course syllabus, and you can always refer back to that. In the modules tab, you'll go ahead and see all of the activities and assignments for the entire semester. Right now you only have access to week one, but the next week will actually open on the Thursday before that week starts. So in other words, if you get all of your week one activities finished and Thursday the week two activities open and you want to go ahead and get started on those, then you can. And that allows you 3 or 4 extra days to work on those assignments before the actual week is starting. So that can be super helpful to get ahead, and that's just another thing I wanted to remind you about. You'll notice that week one looks quite a bit different than the other weeks. So in week one you have a lot of getting acquainted with the course and getting everything started, completing your speaking partner registration. There's a lot of things that you need to do just to get started in the course, and so that's what we're focusing on in week one. And then in week two, that's when our normal schedule really starts. So you're going to have a study section, you're going to have a prepare section, you're going to be studying and reading assignments, or excuse me, reading assignments, reading essays and other items, and then you're going to have a discussion. And so here, this is indicating that you need to post an initial post on the discussion board, and then you'll notice that later on, after the gathering, that you should also be doing response posts. And you can do these response posts at any time throughout the week. It doesn't have to be after the gathering. So I just wanted to point that out. You'll be doing some exercises, and then there will be an assignment that you'll be working on. So in this week, in week two, we're going to start the love letter, which is a super fun writing assignment. And so that's where that's at, and then you'll have your gathering preparation and then your post-gathering activities, which includes your attendance report, your response posts, your reflection, and your evaluation. And so my suggestion for you is to really get as much done as you can before the gathering, and that will ensure that later on in the semester, once you have that schedule and that habit down, that you will be fully prepared for the gathering. So you'll notice that all the following weeks, except for the last week, pretty much follow that same schedule. There's the main writing assignment, the preparation activities, and then the post-gathering activities, which are usually the same in each week. In week 6 or 7, is it? Let's take a look down here. During the semester, you're going to be doing a speaking partner activity, and so I don't want you to worry too much about that right now. It kind of freaks students out here in the beginning, but basically, if if we have enough students, you will get paired with a speaking partner, and you'll meet with them once a week for 30 minutes. Doesn't need to be longer than 30 minutes. And you'll have some topics that you discuss and some things that you talk about. And at the beginning, a lot of students are really nervous about this activity, but by the end, it's a lot of my students' favorite things that they did. And so in this activity, you will either get a speaking partner and have that meeting once a week, or you will be able to research countries outside of your own country and other cultures. And this is a really fun activity for you to reach out and really see and explore other cultures. And so in week 7, during the midterms, you will actually have um, an opportunity to share what you were learning about. And it's this week 7 report. It's the midterm, and it's a writing assignment where you'll be able to look at all your notes that you've had for this activity all semester and really just explain to me what you've been doing and what you've learned so far. And then you'll also have an opportunity at the end of the semester to do the same thing. So that's just kind of a heads up on that. That's nothing you need to worry about right now. It'll all make sense here in a couple weeks. But I also wanted to mention over here on this schedule, you'll notice here in the beginning there's a major work due. This schedule shows which week we're in, what the major assignment is, and then the topics that we cover. And so this is super helpful to see. For the love letter, during weeks 2 and 3, you're going to be working on the love letter. You'll turn that in at the end of week 3. During weeks 4 and 5, you'll be working on the This I Believe essay. Weeks 6 and 7, you'll be working on the critical thinking essay. And then here's where it gets a little bit different. In week 7, or well, excuse me, 8, 9, and 10, you'll be working on the persuasive essay. So that gives you one extra week to really refine and do a great job outlining and drafting and preparing a final essay. And then it's that same schedule for the final essay, which is the personal essay. So you have 3 weeks again in that one to complete that essay. And you'll notice these 2 essays are a little bit longer of an assignment. They do require a little more thought, a little more depth, and that's why we have 3 weeks there for you. And then over here, this is the list of the topics that we're going to cover. Now, it's important for you to recognize that in each of these assignments, one of the sections that you'll be graded on is grammar and formatting and writing rules. And at each point in the semester, you'll have only explored a few of those rules that you'll be graded on. So for this love letter, you will be graded on detail, sentence structures, paragraphs, and incomplete sentences, but you will not be docked for these other items because we haven't really explored those yet. And so that hopefully that explains that. And then here in the This I Believe essay, you'll be graded on all of these topics. Um, in that one section of the rubric. There's other sections of each of these rubrics that you'll be graded on as well, but anyway, that hopefully that kind of explains how you'll be graded and how this semester will really progress. By the end, in this personal essay, we'll have the other sections of the rubric, and then that last section of the rubric will be including all of these rules that we'll have learned throughout the entire semester. So we're really going to be building on what we've learned and really giving you opportunities to demonstrate what you've learned, which is really, really cool. The last and probably the most important thing I wanted to talk to you about is this grades tab. When you click in here to the grades tab, there's this is going to be where you get feedback and your grading assignments and the online comments that I'm going to make on your writing assignment. So I'm going to go ahead and scroll down here. This is just a test student. That's why there's so many zeros in there for them. Let's see, where did it go? Sorry, I scrolled way too far. So in this grades tab, you'll be able to see the assignment, when it was due, if there's a status on it, if it was missing or late, and then your grade, and then the total points possible. And then if there's an assignment that has feedback on it, it's going to have some icons like this. So I want to show you what these mean. This one just means there's a comment on it. So I clicked on that, and you can see that the instructor um, made a little note here and left a URL of a video to watch. So in order to watch that video, I'm going to copy that video and paste it in a new link in a new tab, and then I'll be able to watch that video that your instructor made for me. And then these other icons, this just means that it was graded, and you can see that it was just graded on that one. This one that looks kind of like a clipboard, go ahead and click on that one, and you'll be able to see the rubric. So on this rubric, you'll be able to see, how you were scored on that assignment and what components were really focused on in that assignment. And then down here, there's some course outcomes. Now, if you can see these outcomes, I really want you to disregard them. They are only for the university's purposes. They don't affect your grade at all. Even though it says points, it does not really affect your grade. The only parts that really affects your grade is this first part where it has the criteria, and then depending on what parts of the rubric you were graded on. And then one more thing that you can do to get feedback on assignments is to click on the actual assignment, and this is going to take you to the online document. And this is probably the most important part. This is last semester, this is the thing that my students really loved the most. So you can go ahead and click on your writing assignment here. This is what the student submitted. Oh, whoops. That's not what I meant to do. Sorry about that. Um, So, sorry, you'll probably make that same mistake as well, but instead of clicking on the document, you could click on it if you wanted to, but I'm going to go ahead and view it as an online document and click View Feedback. And when I have a full screen here, it's going to show me, oh, it didn't automatically expand. Sorry about that. Some technical difficulties here. This is worth the wait, I promise. So I'm just going to open that up. So on here, you're going to see your essay, and you're going to see comments on this essay. You won't see these ones here. But you'll be able to see highlights of things you did well, things to work on, and then you'll see comments here from me. And really, I make videos often for students, but this is really where you're going to come to get more information about how you were graded, what specific parts of your essay were really working, what parts weren't working. So this is super duper important. And so make sure and view that as much as you can. And like I said, it's on that grades tab, and then you have to click into the actual assignment, and then click on this view feedback button right here. So that's something super important. And then the last thing that I wanted to mention that's super important as well is this inbox button. So when you need help, if you have questions, go ahead and click on the inbox button. This will not happen for you. This is just because I'm in student view. But go ahead and click on the inbox button. That's where you can write a new message to me, email me, and really get answers if you have personal questions or anything like that. And this is also where I'm going to be sending a lot of helpful information. So keep an eye on that inbox and really read through those things that I send to you there. Hopefully this has given you a little more help and an insight into our course. One last thing I wanted to show you um, is this writing assignment schedule. And this is basically that same thing we just saw in the Excel spreadsheet. We have 2 weeks to write on our love letter. We're going to have 2 weeks to work on our This I Believe essay. And this is all future stuff, so I'm just kind of giving you an overview of the entire semester. Weeks 6 and 7 we'll work on the critical thinking essay. Weeks 8 through 10 we'll work on the persuasive essay. And then weeks 11 through 13 we'll work on that personal essay. And so hopefully that gives you some insight into how the semester is really going to work. This week in week 1 we have some assignments that are just kind of helping us get started and helping you get acquainted with the course. And then next week is when we'll really start digging deep into that love letter and that in week 2 you'll have a draft due, and then in week 3 you'll have the final draft due. And so this is going to be a really awesome semester. If you have questions about this, please be sure and let me know. Thank you for watching, and hopefully this